Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is MS Collections. Thank you for watching. In today's video, I'll be showing us how we made this gown. This is a part 2 of a tutorial we started on how to draft this gown we are making. This gown you can see here is actually a style that we are replicating. So if this is what you're interested in, please stay tuned to the end of the video. The part 1 actually has the style that we are redoing, and this is the outcome as you can see. And staying true to the video will show you how we arrived at this. Is actually a step-by-step guide. Okay, so if you're new to the channel, please do well to subscribe, like, share, turn on the notification bell so you get notified when I drop new videos, and I'll see you in the tutorial. Okay, so this is the lace that we used for our dress, and up next is the pattern that we cut. As you can see, this I just went ahead to cut out the patterns, folding my fabric into 2. Now for this center piece, remember that dart we left, I closed the dart on the main fabric before placing the lace on it. Please ensure to do that, okay? So you have a neat finishing. Now for all my pieces, I have gum stay underneath, and I placed the lace on it using hemming gum. I didn't sew it. I placed hemming gum just by the sides, little pieces of hemming gum by the sides, and I ironed it to have my lace in place. So you can see for the satin fabric, I cut like 2 pieces, one piece to overlay the lace and the other piece for the lining. So this is my sleeve, okay? Yes. And now for the sleeve, you can see I've gone ahead also to attach the satin fabric to the lace, and I put hard gum. This is this is the medium stain, not the one that is too hard. Okay, now I did this because I wouldn't want it to fold up. I need it to be very firm and straight. Now this other part I cut is the lining, but I'll attach lining to complete up. Okay, so I just cut because I want it to turn downwards, then I'll use the lining to complete up. If you stay true to the video, understand what I mean. This is our wrapper overlap. As you can see, I also put the medium gum stay on it so that we have a firm finish. And also this is the half piece of lining I told you I was going to be using. Now look at the way I folded that hip. I'm going to slash it open, and then I'll attach lining to it as well to complete it. Okay, if you can decide to use doll face all through, even for the sleeves, but I decided to use lining to complete it, just to economize material. So, and on the lining as well, on this part as well, I put my medium gum stay. You can decide to use your soft gum stay or whatever effect or whatever stay for the effect you want. Now this is our modesty panel. I cut it 13 by 14 inches if I'm not mistaken. So that captures the length of the blouse and then the width, for it to be able to cover the back. Now this is the lace for the skirt fabric. Now for this skirt fabric, I just cut one piece of material. Okay, if you want to double it, fine, but for the skirt fabric, for me, one piece is enough. I'll go ahead and sew the sides. You can see the way I placed it. The bad side of the satin is facing the good side of the lace, so that when I sew by the sides and I'm done and I flip it over, this shiny side will appear outside. Like, if you know what I mean, try it and see what I'm talking about. The bad side of the satin fabric covers the good side of the lace. When you sew by the sides and you flip it over, you have the shiny side appearing outwards. Now I'm going ahead to this one, and what I'm doing here is the dart center dart. This is for the lining. Remember, I've done the one for the main fabric, which I placed the lace on top. So this is how I just took it. It's just to enable bust tightening. Okay, yes, so you can see this is just for a better bust, just to add up to the bust tightening. So that's why I had that. And as you can see, I didn't cut it on the lace, I just did it on the satin fabric so that the lace covered it, and doing that ensured that I had a neat finish. So next up, I'll be going ahead to join my side pieces of my bustier. It's very simple. Just it's usually better to start from the down part coming upwards. Just ensure that everything is well aligned together. Okay, so I'm done with this part. Next up will be to complete or sew the other side of part of our dress of the bustier. So this is it. Just carefully sew. Please do not forget to use a gum stay on it, so you have everything nicely in place. Okay, so this is what we have. Now whatever you do to the main fabric, ensure you do to the lining. Okay, that's in terms of joining the bustier part. Don't forget to replicate the same on your lining as well. So that's why we have four, or should I say, that's why we have two sets of satin fabric, one as lining, the other for the lace. Okay, so this is my lace fabric. I'm going ahead to just put my shiny bias, and I've gone ahead to stitch it. So I stitch in 3 places, the joining at the bustier side and the center piece, and this is what we have. Please do not forget to iron your seam allowances open. Okay, as I notched in the beginning. After notching, look at what I have. See how those allowance is ironed, those allowances are ironed opened. So please do not forget. So on my lining, because this is an invisible corset, I'm going to be putting or inserting my bonings. So look at what I'm showing you. On the bustier part that's supposed to shoot out, I will turn the boning, I'll sew the boning on this curved part that is shooting out. Then after the bustier, I'll cut the boning, go ahead and flip it and sew it to be inside. Okay, now look at what I have here. So I use this method to ensure that my dress goes as I want it to be, and when I'm done, I just go ahead and cover the main lace with the lining. On this lace part, I used hairstay to pad it. If you cannot use hairstay to pad, you can go ahead and use your breast pad or warden or whatever you use to pad your material. So I used boning on my fabric, boning on my lining, and on the main fabric I used hairstay to pad the bust here. Now I'm also going to be adding bra cups to the lining. Okay, so look, this is me placing my bra cups. Just ensure that they are lined. But before that, I went ahead to hold that on the bra cups, and it's very simple. Just measure the center of the bra cup. From there, just hold your dart upwards. So go ahead and place it. I used my breast bulb to place the bra cups, but ensure that it is at least 1.5 inch away from your seam allowance, from your joining allowance. Okay, so what that means is, on your fabric, measure the exact point where your shaping is supposed to be. Like for this client is 18 inches or is 19 inches. That's 38 inches. Her bust is 38 inches. So divide the remaining allowance by 2. I had the remaining allowance at 3 inches, and so it means I'll be sharing 1.5 inch on both sides. So my bra cup should end at least 1.5 inch away from the sides. Yes, that's what I mean. So calculating on one side, it means my bra cup should be like 3 inches away from, plus the seam allowance, because my seam allowance is 1.5 inch. So I hope you understand what I mean. And also ensure that the bra cup is sitting up to your under bust. It should just capture the bust of the client, and then go ahead and sew. So this is what I have. Now you can see with this, it ensures that my bust is very secure. The client can use this dress without wearing a bra. Okay, so then I went ahead to carry my main fabric and cover it up, and this is what we have. Okay, yes, so our dress is coming out now. You see that bust is very secure. It's well padded, it's solid. With the boning and everything, the bra cup and the padding, it just sits in the right position. Okay, so next thing, guys, I'm working on the shoulder pieces. Just go ahead and use the satin fabric as lining. Use it to, just sew that center piece, and I did that. This is what I have. After sewing it, I just closed up the joinings. Go ahead and give it a good press, and then place your shiny bias. Yeah, I use shiny bias for, those lines you see on the main style. So this is your shiny bias. It's a 1/2 inch shiny bias. So after I'm done, I'll go ahead and attach my neckline or my shoulder line. I'll go ahead and attach it as so, and then I'll do this attachment before I will now use the lining to cover up this front piece. I'm done attaching, and can you see what we have? Then use your lining to stitch that part. And you can actually, after this point, stitch the sides as well. Now I have to stitch the sides separately. Normally I would make all the stitches inside, but I had to stitch the sides separately with the back. Make this have the front stitch separately from the back because of the wrapper overlap. I hope you understand what I mean. Okay, so we are done, and this is what you have. I'm just showing you what it looks like. Now I have these tiny ropes. They are just 1.5 inch in width. I'll be using them. This particular one I'll be using for my corset loops. I'll just fold it as you see me doing the video. Go ahead and stitch it, and I'll be using for my corset loops. This one is the one I'll be joining to use for my rope. I'll just fold into 2 stitch, so that I'll be using for the rope for the corset. Now next up, look at how I've joined the lining. Can you see? I joined the lining to the material. Just since it's going to be inside, the lining will be inside, but at the tip of the wrapper overlap to be the doll face underneath, the doll face or the satin fabric. Okay guys, so this is it. Next up, I'll be going ahead to sew this part to my lining. Now this is the sleeve. Okay, I've also attached the lining as you saw. when I flipped it, I've also attached the lining, and go ahead and sew following the pattern. You can see what we have here. This is it, guys. So you can see this. Just carefully watch this video. If there's any part you're lost, take the video back and watch carefully, and you will understand. If you have any questions, drop it in the comment section and I'll attend to them. So after this, after bringing the patterns out, I'll be going ahead to close up the lining and the fabric, and you just watch how I'm going to do that. So you can see I've brought this out, and look at how it's looking. Do not forget to give it a good press, and look, this is how I'll be folding it up the way as illustrated in the video. I'll shape my sleeves as so that when I'm done, I'll have all my stitches hidden inside. Okay, so for the wrapper overlap, I've gone ahead to stitch as well, and I'm just bringing it out. I'm removing all the pins right now. I pinned them before sewing so that I have everything in place. I don't have any consistencies. I brought it out. Now look at this. I left a little opening up and down, which I'll be closing. I'll just be folding to close. It's not very obvious. It just helped me to bring out my fabric, to bring out the curves. And take note that I also stitched the upside of the dress, and the only side I left open was the sides. The sides open, but I also stitched it like a top stitch, using, I stitched it like a top stitch. So I had everything closed up nicely. Next up, I'll be going ahead to put my shiny bias as seen. I'll put it on the curves on the wrapper overlap, and the curves on the sleeve. Okay guys, if you've come this far and you've not subscribed, I'll advise you to pause the video. Kindly subscribe to this channel to encourage this channel. So this is what I'm showing you. Go ahead as well to sew your shiny bias in the slanting manner. The style we had, the bias was slanted, so go ahead and slant it as desired. Now this is my back piece. I've gone ahead to fix those loops. It's wise that you fix the loops before turning your back piece. This is the lining I have for the back piece. Before this, do not forget, I also put boning on the back piece, the lining specifically, because this is an invisible corset, so the linings carried all the bonings. And then I also attached, on one side of the lining, I attached my modesty panel. I'm just showing us all these points in the video. Look at this. So I have my modesty panel attached on the lining before sewing, before using it to turn one of the pieces. Please, at any point you don't understand, take the video back and rewatch. This is it, guys. We are done putting all our bias. Do not forget to give this a good press. Now this is the back piece. Yes, so go ahead, use the back piece the same way we joined the front. Is the same way we'll also join this part. Now I forgot to mention that the shoulder parts are the only parts I added allowance when I was cutting. I added 1 inch allowance to their length. Every other part of the pattern I cut exactly, except the shoulder parts. For the shoulder parts, I added extra allowance down to make it longer. Yes, so since I'll be joining, I added 1 inch allowance. So after joining, this is what we have, and it's looking all neat and nice already. So can you see this, guys? I've gone ahead to join the shoulder as well. You have our modesty panel, you have both sides of the back piece attached to the front piece, and we are almost done. This is very simple, guys. So next up will be to shape our dress. you can see all the bonings are added. And when I was done, I also put the shiny bias at the edge of the back piece, and I also inserted boning at that edge. So next up will be to attach our skirt pieces. Just go ahead and attach them. You can see how I've neatly closed up the sides. I would have weaved them, but the dress has sequins which may be too tough for the needle, so I went ahead to close it like a top stitch. So this is it. I'm going ahead to attach the skirt pieces. Now attach the wrapper overlap on top. Remember when we were cutting, we added 1 inch extra for the wrapper overlap. So this is why, because the wrapper overlap is supposed to sit on top of the skirt. So that is it. Go ahead and attach. For the back piece, this is the back piece. I went ahead to fix my zipper. Now after fixing my zipper, the back piece is the piece where I would place the back piece on top of the dress. So I'll not be joining it like the front piece. I will be stitching it like a top stitch as well on top of the dress. So having done that, this is what we have. Can you look? Can you see that? Yes, so I've joined the front. Our front is ready to be shaped. I've joined the back as well, so you can see this. Yes, so this is it, guys. So please do not forget to make the ropes, for the sides. I didn't capture that in this video, but I also did that off camera. So this is it. I closed up the edges. Like I said, this is a sequence dress, so it was too tough for the weaving machine needle, so I went ahead to use bias to close the edges down, and I use bias also so that the boning won't prick the client. So can you see this, guys? This is the back piece. Look at how I attached the back piece. I placed it. That's why the back piece, I sealed the top of the skirt for the back piece, so I could place it on the upper part of the dress. And this is the bias sealing it down. With this, we are sure that the bonings won't prick the client. So this is it, guys. Go ahead and shape your gown, fix your sleeves, and we are good to go. Our dress is ready. You can see this, well secured. The ropes are in place. Please, this is what the final look. If you follow this process diligently, this is what you're going to be having. Our dress came out nicely as desired. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.